Hello everyone and welcome to a first look at the wonderful Planet Coaster console gameplay. Yeah, about a week ago actually there has been the first press release of the gameplay, and first of all, before we jump into it and look at some stuff what you can already see in the background, I have to say thank you to Venturebeat, and in the person of Mike Minotti, I hope I pronounced that correctly. He gave me so to say permission to use the content he has played. He actually played the game via some cool software named Parsec, which is a kind of remote gaming experience software where, you know, in these times still people can experience the wonderful game via this remote control, and they had over like 45 minutes to play with the console version. You can clearly tell from the visuals you're seeing on screen that this is actually the console version. I was a little bit surprised, to be honest, when I was first seeing that. I was not sure if that was like actual stuff because, you know, Frontier didn't really release anything on their own channel, so I was a bit confused. But you know, I also got confirmation from Frontier that the press release embargo dropped a week ago, and so I thought, you know, in the middle of the Planet Zoo hype, I'm just gonna go and cover it. You can already tell a little bit from the building in the background. This is the coaster building, but first of all, let's jump in with the actual intro to the console version, because there is something going on we are not really used from Planet Coaster, and I want to show that to you first of all before we check out something else.
Oh my! Is that a budding theme park proprietor I see before me? I certainly hope so. Otherwise, you're in quite the wrong place, and none of what I'm about to say will make any sense to you. I am Oswald B. Thompson, theme park impresario, and I am here to help you take your first steps in this most exciting of professions. And because it's a first step, we're starting in a somewhat humble location. A charming little park, which, as yet, has not fulfilled its undoubted potential. A park where you will begin to hone your skills.
Right, so I've seen a little bit of an intro here before we can actually play the game, and I think this is really important to know about the game. You can actually see that all the controls here on this controller, and I'm quite sure this one here should be an Xbox controller, because you can tell from the buttons, and I'm quite sure that this is meant to be Xbox with the Y and the A key, which is typical Xbox, or I'm not really sure, but I think it should be. Yeah, definitely it is from the buttons you can see, and you can see that all the new controls are in. But before we talk about the controls, let me just talk about one specific thing, and this is for me personally, as I've experienced Planet Coaster mainly on the computer. They definitely improved the graphics a whole lot. I definitely checked this again, and I think the main thing they changed, and it's not about textures and stuff, the main thing I see them changing is the anti-aliasing. So the edge detection seems to be a lot better. So I don't know if you've seen that, but around the corners of this wonderful King Coaster globe at the beginning, you can see it from the roofs and especially from the trees. Everything seems so much more sharp, and if you don't really tell this from the video, it definitely is. This is downloaded content, you know, from already downstreamed content, so this is not, it's not even the source material, you know, it's 2 times so to say encrypted by me now using this material rather than something else. But you can actually tell here, it seems to be quite, you know, quite easy switching through the different things here, and it's really interesting to see how this game unfolds here with the controller. You can see these little hints and stuff. So one thing I'm really a big fan of is that you do have this typical little tutorial base here that you know that we didn't really have in Planet Coaster at all. And to be honest, even though it's more like a, you know, at the first glance this is definitely more like a computer game, a typical mouse and keyboard game, but even there the amount of customization in this game is just overwhelming. So I'm really interested to see how they manage to, you know, deal with this over here. So you can actually tell that the movement and camera movement seems to be pretty smooth. It seems that the weighting of how fast you turn to the left and to the right seems to be really cool and really easy. You know, I think they really did have a lot of experience from Jurassic World Evolution console version, so I'm not really having any kind of doubt doubts that this is definitely a smooth experience you're gonna get here. What I'm really a lot more interested in is kind of actually building stuff. So you really see that this is brand new. We didn't have that at all in a Planet Coaster PC version. This is definitely showing you a building space, and this again, it's part of the tutorial. It's nothing we had in the game because it was not part of the game, the tutorial. I remember that a lot of people out there just did tutorials for the sake of having them because we all knew that we needed them. But you can actually tell now, this is this moment where we are first building something. So you can see that all of the people here just talking to us. By the way, if you want to have the full experience without me talking over it, you can get this from the link in the description down below. This is where Venturebeat had the actual pure gameplay, no talking whatsoever, just the pure gameplay. If you want this, just jump over because I'm showing you some stuff around. And here you can actually tell how easy it is to place this thing. It basically sticks to the center of the cursor, which is basically the center of the visual, and then it automatically flips already to the next item, which is the entrance. I kind of like that. It really feels like a smooth little transition, and these are the little things where I don't really know if this wouldn't be actually a cool thing for a computer too, because these little snappy actions are really just a little helpful thing, you know. It's nothing you do need on a console. Just in general, there are a lot of things I'm already pretty jealous of, to be honest, as a computer player, but I will definitely check this out on the console too. But you can actually tell, like, placing down this is pretty easy, but now just clicking on it on the entrance or exit, you get already the option of path building, and we all know path, you know, the path system in this game is our best friend, you know, best friend in the world. But still, one thing I do like is that you get this very easy hands-on transition. You just double click on the entrance and the path menu just automatically opens, which I do like. I actually do also like the new menu quite a bit, to be honest. It looks a bit more sorted. It looks a lot more I don't know, evolved from what we know, and you have all the toggles in one screen rather than switching between settings and path and stuff, you know, at the same time. So you have the length, width, and angle snap option and path joining option just in one space. You know, if you look at the right hand side, there is so much to figure here that it's just one in this one frame, and I love that because it doesn't, you know, doesn't need you to switch all these tabs in between. And I guess this is another learning they had over time. So yeah, pretty simply put down, this is how the first ride looks. Nothing really amazing, but you know, that's what I wanted to show you first. And now let's jump into something. Right, the next thing we are looking at is scenery, and I'm quite sure that this is the moment where blueprints really get another importancy compared to the actual computer game. You know, the thing about blueprints in this game, for me, always has been a wonderful thing for casual players. And this game on a console just screams casual player to me. Don't get me wrong, there will be also pretty crazy people doing all kinds of stuff in here. But this, for me personally, can be the one experience that this game always could have been as well, if the blueprint system would have been a little bit differently treated from the very get-go. And I really do hope that they didn't do this or don't do the same mistake in here as well. I'm just quickly talking about this. One thing I really disliked about the way blueprint system on Planet Coaster worked was that no matter what you built and which pieces you used, as soon as you had a piece from a different theme, this piece didn't really fit into one theme anymore. So let's say you have the pirate theme over here. As soon as you use something else, like let's say, for example, I don't know, an African kind of piece, the game said, okay, you need to have discovered both, or like kind of researched both themes before you can use it, which to me is a little bit of a weird decision, because you could just lock, we do have the option to lock the wonderful blueprint to the scenery, so you can't really tackle the scenery. And here's me to hope that they change this a little bit so that we can categorize actually the blueprint to one category. So let's say we have this pirate skull made out of stones, but the stones are not only from the pirate theme, but you have also different stuff, let's say from the Arctic theme. For whatever reason you would have that, but never mind. And then just say, okay, this is the tag I want to give it, and this is the pirate theme. And then no matter what pieces you use, you can use this blueprint once someone has researched the pirate theme. You just can't use the pieces that are from different themes. They're just locked, okay? So you can't just grab them and copy them around. That would be a way how you can actually basically use blueprints from all over the world in your park, and you can just casually place them down. And honestly, me playing franchise mode and Planet Zoo lately showed me that this experience works, okay? It works. If we have all this at hand, you can see there's a couple more blueprints than we had in the base game in the computer version, just because they know that it's so much more useful to have all these little blueprints at hand. It's almost getting modular, you know, putting this down, intersecting the pieces. You can actually tell from this little bit over here that they enabled actually ride collision, but they disabled terrain collision, which I like. So you can actually sink that into the ground, you can raise that up. But honestly, the moment when you have to be even more precise, and you can see there is the advanced move tool is available to the right hand side. You know, I'm still questioning if that is going to be a big thing. I think this game really would benefit a lot more from an optimized kind of plug and play solution by having all these blueprints from the community and just, you know, build stuff crazy great looking from all the blueprints you have. And so this experience would get a lot more smooth because you can build packs that get a lot bigger just in no time, you know, because you have all these blueprints. And it's also not taken away from the creativity part of it, because you can get really creative with all the blueprints given to you. I really see this being a really cool shift in how this game is being played, so it becomes a lot more of the management game than it opted to be from the beginning, and a little bit less of the crazy, you know, let's say almost 3D rendering program that we used it for, with millions of pieces intersecting just to build a cathedral or whatnot. You know, that just kind of changes a little bit. But well, that's all I wanted to quickly talk about with the scenery. You can actually tell here that there's also like an auto snap to the surface with the cursor. You can actually tell, and then by moving it up and down, you get this. But there's like a lot of snappy options you can toggle to the right hand side. So you can see there is a move snap is disabled now, so you can actually use a few more pieces and stuff and a few more toggles and settings, which I think is a cool experience. I can't really wait to test this myself, really. Like this footage over here, I really watched this a lot of times, and this gives me a lot of hope, guys. Really, Frontier seemed to have done a really great job in converting that to a console experience. But as I said, I think the way this game is played on a console will differ from the way it's played on a computer, just naturally. But well, let's step over into the next. Alright, next up is a little quick toggle menu I wanted to briefly show you, and this will appear in a few seconds, which I'm super jealous of. Like there is, you know, next to all the other options, you will have a little quick toggle menu that just, here you see it, opens by clicking, and then you have all the possible movement options right at one glance, and I love that. I just love this menu because this gives you so much little quick settings which movement tool you want to use. Like, I think it would be also valuable to have that on a computer version as well. Just right click, or I don't know how exactly, middle mouse button click or whatnot, just to open that menu and just switch between the different axes and stuff. That would be huge. That would be super huge to just get a bit of a quicker experience all over the place. But you can see this is the same building we have. So let's just skip to the next bit. I just want to quickly show you this circular little quick access menu. Alright, and this is what you've all been waiting for. This is obviously the one and only coaster building. This is what we all are here for, you know. It is called Planet Coaster, so you usually want to build a coaster. And this is how you do this with the controller. And honestly, it doesn't really look that bad, you know. I love the fact that you're following the coaster the way you're doing. So you're just like having the center around the piece that you're just moving, and then you have all the options you can see right at the kind of first part of the coaster track. And then, you know, on the controller, I think once you have the hang of it, it really becomes a really smooth way of building it, rather than dragging the mouse up and down and stuff like that. I really think this could be super valuable. Like, honestly, well, the more I think about it, I really feel that this is a cool way of doing it. And again, this is one of the options I would love to have in the computer version as well, because we can use the controller, so why not have that option? This bit over here also was a little bit of a cool bit, because he tried to connect this to the station, and it really got a little bit funky here, because, you know, finicky connecting of pieces didn't really work out the way. And I thought, hey, on the computer version we do have this auto fill, or like autocomplete function, and you will see in a little bit that there is this autocomplete function over here in this wonderful quick toggle menu. And this again is this point in time where I wanted to reinforce this wonderful menu, because it's contextual. It's not only having one option. This quick toggle option menu always gives you the one thing you need right at here. So the game knows what you're doing and then offers you the best options you can have. And that, to me, is a very clever way of how a UI should work. You know, it gives you all these little things that you do need. And I don't know if you can customize this thing, but honestly, having an option to customize that would be huge. And obviously, you can still take a ride and a test ride in this version as well. So he's just jumping in. You can see switching easily between the cameras. You know, most of the menu options are looking pretty the same, even though I like the style of it a lot more because it's just so much more in one frame and easy to understand where the toggles are. So lots of things, a lot of thought went into it, and I think all over it's just a huge improvement. I don't also want to talk too much about the performance here and about the smoothness of the coaster, because clearly I'm not sure if he's an expert builder, but first time building in here, limited time, you don't really get the hang of it. I can't really tell if it's more smooth or if it's less smooth, or if the camera experience is like, if I need to judge, it feels almost like a little bit more smooth, to be honest, but I don't know, it might also be just the kind of perspective we are in, but all over it seems to me a bit more smooth, as if they have done a little bit of a job here to make the coaster experience a bit more smooth. But again, that could easily be only me from this footage, that it seems like. And also, to be fair, this coaster type, the mine train coaster in general, is a little coaster type that is really thankful when it comes to smoothness in the game anyways, because it is definitely a train that has a bit of more of a rougher experience in real life too. So if there's a little bit kink here and there, it doesn't really matter that much. But you can also tell from over here, which is one thing I like, and we know that we have this option, but this is something I like a lot. You can instantly change the track type, and I'm not sure if I've seen this track type on the Mine Train coaster in the computer version or in the PC version. And this was the first thing where I was a little bit, aha, can you just actually change the track here, like in here, by not using the type beforehand? Because I've seen him using the different track type at the beginning, and this seems to be just the brake over here with the push tires, but I like the way how you're able to change this right over here in this little, you know, it almost seems like a different track type, but in this particular case, it is only the push tires, but still it looks quite cool how you can quickly change it over here. I mean, you can do it in the computer version, but you still have to just switch it in the menu, and it almost looked like he does it on a button. Again, I can't really tell too much because I haven't been playing it myself, but it looks almost like this is exactly what happened here. But anyhow, guys, I just wanted to round this off here while he's just multi-selecting pieces, which again also looked surprisingly smooth and easy, just to change this. But again, I haven't seen any smoothing options here, whatnot. I'm quite sure that this is to the right hand side in the settings, if you switch the tab there a little bit. But just to give you this first glance of what this version looks like, I just wanted to quickly talk you through what I have actually seen from it. Please make sure to jump over to their actual footage and let me know in the comments down below what you think of what you just have seen, and will you get the game? Do you have the game? Are you already an active computer game Planet Coaster player, or are you just desperately waiting for the console version finally to come? And if so, let me just know what you will do first. What's the coaster you're waiting for the most and stuff like that. I really would love to hear that from you guys, and I'm trying to get some more footage in the close future and then talk you through that as well, and also get some info from Frontier if actually their graphic has improved and whatnot. To be honest, Frontier didn't really talk too much about it. We've some of the depth areas and stuff, but this was more general info about the game, and just, you know, that this will be the full experience, but you never know what full experience means. Like, I really can't imagine that they publish something on the newer gen versions of PlayStation and Xbox without improving the graphics from what they actually have been on the computer, because that would be a downgrade for these kind of consoles, because it also is on the current gen available, or it will be available on the current gen. So I'm quite sure that there will be a difference in graphics just utilizing the power that you have on these newer consoles, I'm guessing. And yeah, so here's me also hoping for getting these improvements on the computer version. But yeah, it's just me waiting for it and guessing. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick look to the console version of Planet Coaster. And now, yeah, just go and watch it yourself and let me know what you think of it. Until then, have a good time, everyone, and goodbye.